Hey y'all, welcome to the channel, Monique Speaks and Reactions. I am Monique. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So guys, I'm doing this video for y'all folks sitting in the back. I did another video about a young lady who got fired for saying too much on social media. But this is just a PSA to kind of hone that in for y'all that's kind of hard-headed going into 2025. This comes from another YouTuber. His channel is called Purpose and Resilience. And I've been kind of vibing with his channel. And this video is entitled, Don't Let Social Media Get You Fired. This is for commentary and for educational purpose by way of the Fair Use Act. And I will put his link to his channel down in my description box. Y'all, don't let social media get you fired. All right, y'all, take a listen, and I'll come back with my commentary.
Get you fired. So my homegirl called me Wednesday telling me that she's going to make this video, and y'all obviously know what the video's about. And I told her I strongly advise against it. I also advise her, like I would tell some of y'all, that maybe y'all should take a break off of social media until maybe April sometime, right? Till your emotions go down. She said, Joe, you don't know what you're talking about. You're the part of the problem and all this and stuff. I said, well, I encourage you. You do what you want to do. But I encourage you to read your employee handbook and also read whatever policies they have regarding social media. And I'll tell you.
Now, let me stop it right here. He said, and he gave advice. And, you know, recently I've been giving a little advice to certain people, but some people don't want to listen. But he said, and this is good advice for all of us who are employed, whatever, for us to look at the employee social media guidelines, protocol, policy, and their handbook. That's just a word to the wise is sufficient. He told his homegirl, you know, I don't think you should do that because you're a little emotional. And I think some people should take, you know, a social media break, you know, until their emotions go down. And I agree with that 100,000%.
Tell you why in a minute. So she make the video. The video hits 100,000 views, right? It was saved and everything else. And I told her the views don't matter. What matters is what's saved, because that's how many people saved that video and downloaded that video. They're going to let you go. No, you know, no, they're not. They're just going to, you know, probably give me a suspension. No, based on your job and where you at, your position, they're going to let you go. So she goes back in Friday. ID card doesn't work. Security come in and say, hey, come with me. Come to security. They had her stuff in boxes. It said, your employment has been terminated.
Wow. So this gentleman knew that she was going to get fired just based on the fact of whatever it was that she posted and the position that she had in that company. And sure enough, when she went back to work, her badge didn't work, her stuff was in boxes, and they terminated her.
She's going hysterical, crying, saying, what did I do wrong? I didn't do anything, or blah, blah, blah. Hysterical. And let me tell you something. Do you know who gave them that video? Her co-workers. The people that she thought was cool with her.
Let me say this again for the people in the back. It was her co-workers, the ones, maybe even her friends that called up the job and was like, do you know that Shaquisha just did this video talking about the job, or whatever the video was about. It was the people that she thought were cool with her. The
people who was that yeah, what she do? So she goes outside, and so now her co-workers are calling her, right? And they all calling. And you know why they calling? Because they want to know. And they say things like this. Oh, what happened, girl? What's up?
They already know.
Oh, my God. No, we need to do something. We're going to come together and we're going to go talk to them. Y'all not going to do it. They ain't going to do nothing.
They ain't do nothing.
What they're going to do is they're going to go to their social media account and go delete all the comments they made or anything and make sure that their stuff ain't whatever. And if they made a video, they're going to delete the video. They ain't going to do nothing because they can't do nothing. And let me tell you why. There's something called the Hatch Act. You need to research it. Go Google it. That a lot of agencies are starting to adapt.
Now, he said the Hatch Act, Hatch Act. The federal government has a Hatch Act, which is their social media policy for federal workers, and other companies are implementing that same type of thing. And it's not only for speaking out on social media, but it's also the comments that you make. So it's not just it could be your Twitter fingers and your YouTube fingers, and some of y'all trolls out here doing all sorts of fluff, but it's not only for the comments that you're making and what you're speaking about, but also your the comments, but also what you're speaking about. And in addition to that, conduct policy as it relates to being out on social media. If you have a high profile job and you up here cussing up a storm and dropping F-bombs and MF bombs and all this other stuff, that might not be, characteristic of the type of person or the conduct for that particular organization. So they could terminate you based on that as well. So I know a lot of people out here just telling it all, but I'm trying to tell you, for the people in the back who might not hear, who might get ready to post a video because they so overly emotional, you might butter. And I know that ain't proper English, but you would do well. And it would be wise to think about it before you post anything. But let's finish seeing what this brother had to say, because he did warn her. And like I say, I relate this channel to things that happen with people, myself, but the Lord always gives you a warning. And look, this brother was her warning. He will warn you before you get in trouble or try to help prevent it, but sometimes we just don't listen.
A lot of agencies are starting to adapt to this new social media climate and adding the social media policies within their organization. But because you don't read, and you don't read the updated policies that they send out or the emails, you don't know that. So then all of a sudden you get cocky and get arrogant and think you won't get caught, think you won't whatever. Then you go out and you want to make this a video to express your disgust or
yeah, cocky, arrogant, and you just gotta tell people how you feel. That's why, guys, when certain videos come out and it's sensationalized, I just sit back and wait, because I know that if I say things in the beginning, it's probably come from a place of emotion. But then as I kind of look at it, I'll critically think and go, okay, this makes more sense. And then I'll give my commentary that way. But I don't always come out and say things right off the bat about high profile stories. But yeah, arrogance, narcissism, people just everybody don't need to hear what you have to say. I give my commentary, but I just give it in a way that I think will add some added value, or comment on things that I think are really important that could help us all.
Express whatever you want going on, and then guess what happens? Somebody in your organization or your co-workers who you think are your friends and not your competitors, all of a sudden sends that video to them. Now guess what? Now that job is gone, and your co-worker is going to apply for the position. They're not co-workers, they're competitors. You need to get that through your head. A lot of you are allowing social media to get you in places that you don't want to be. There's a lot of people who lose their job over social media. A lot of them. And a lot of you allow some of these people, these content creators who have emotional and mental issues, get you into a place where you want to go do stupid shit.
Now I know you cursing us that have problems of their own. They're human, but some of them have mental and psychological issues. And I watch them sometime on YouTube and I go, wow, I hope they're getting the help that they need, or I hope somebody intervenes before they go too far. But anyway, what he said.
And you want to go do dumb stuff, and that's okay, that's fine. Guess what? There is a legal system that has no problem sitting you down for a minute. If you don't like your lights, if you don't like air conditioning, food, cool.
I like my lights. I like my air. I like my heat. I like my bed. I like shelter. I like to be able to drive to the store, to go to Trader Joe's. I like all those things. I like my freedom. How about that? Most importantly. And yeah, I do. Yeah, but if you don't like it, like he said, there's a legal system that'll sit you down for a minute and let you check yourself after you wreck yourself.
There's an unemployment line for you. One of the two. But you need to think before you post that video. You need to think. And a lot of you don't. And a lot of you are losing your jobs and your careers, and you're putting your life online because of stuff you want to put on social media. Because you done heard somebody else and support somebody else. These people on social media don't live these lives. And they go in here and you get in your emotions and get in your feelings, and you think it's okay for you to post it, or you think it's okay to do certain things on social media, but you don't understand. There's some people who really don't like you. They pretend to like you, and they're called co-workers and friends. And they tell you, yeah,
and
boy,
family.
go do it. Yeah, man, go do it. Go do it.
Put that battery in your back.
Not, because I love you enough to tell you the truth. Let me tell you something. Social media has done a lot of good, but it has done a whole lot of harm to a lot of people.
That's true.
A lot of people have ended up in jail. Their families gone. Their houses and everything that they work for gone with just a simple video. A moment of allowing your emotions to get out of control and not controlling your emotion, not mastering your emotions, being completely reckless, has caused more harms to people than good. And here's the thing. We're living in times right now, companies can't afford lawsuits no more. They can't afford it, and they're not loyal to you. They never was. You're a liability. You're a risk. And it's hard. It's a lot harder now for you to get a job to come from something like that, because they're scared you're going to do it again. Let me tell you a story that was told to me by an executive in a hospital. This lady was a nurse, and I don't know too much of the nursing jargon or things, so help me. This lady was a nurse, and she was going live, and she was on some recovery, unit or whatever, where people would come out of surgery, and they would be on this recovery ward. So one of the lights was going on sounds was going on.
So as it relates, because I'm a nurse, he didn't know the terminology. PACU, that is usually where a patient comes out of OR, operating room, and goes to recovery, and then they're hooked up to monitors. You might have the pulse ox and different things going, and the machines are beeping. So this is a story that he's telling about a nurse. So all nurses, listen up. This is a story for you, nurse techs, doctors, all y'all people. Listen to the rest of the story, okay?
Off and one of the machines or whatever, and she was on live, and the lady people in the comments were like, hey, you got to go check on that. From what I understand, because you're a nurse, you have to, even if a wire is missing, even if whatever, you have to go check. Regardless, right? She didn't. She turned off the sound while she was on live. Someone screen recorded that. In the background was her company, and on her license, on her badge, you think because it's blurred. Man, they got technologies all over the place. They can tell, right? From what I understand, the executive, he told me the man passed away.
Oh my God.
He passed away. Right? They've reviewed the footage. She tried to delete the live. Look, TikTok ain't loyal to you. TikTok
subpoena.
ain't loyal to you. You think it's deleted, it's not.
Nope.
Right? They looked at the footage of where she was at, found out that she was on live, let her go. Also criminal charges.
Wow.
Right? Y'all keep allowing this distractions and your emotions to get to you, and your addiction to attention get to you so bad that your entire life will be altered. That's my public service announcement. You've been warned.
Wow. This is probably the video that sums it up, that every nurse, every YouTuber, social media influencer needs to watch. This is a public service announcement. You've been warned. He gave 2 examples. His girlfriend was so emotional about something, had to go post it, and he was like, no, I don't think you should do that. Guys, as I get older and hopefully a little bit wiser, when somebody comes to you and says, I don't think you should do that, that is probably a good thing to listen to. That might be your warning from the Lord telling you don't do it. I've had several situations recently where I've told people, I don't really think you should do that. And it was not out of emotion. It was out of thinking, my experiences, just wanting to give some wisdom and, give some knowledge, impart that to somebody so that they can avoid some mistakes and hopefully bad decisions. Well, they didn't listen several times and it didn't turn out good. Then he tells this last story. So nurses and techs and all of y'all who are in healthcare. This person obviously was a nurse in a PACU and she went on live. Who does that? And the person's machine was beeping away. Now, I don't know if it was, the pulse ox that his sats were dropping, or it was showing the rhythm and his rhythm he was an SVT or AFib. I don't know. But what ended up happening was somebody in the comments saw, guys, people download these videos. And they screen record them because, like me, I'm doing a reaction. Not because I'm trying to be nosy, but some videos I screen record because I want to do a reaction to them. And like he said, your coworkers are your competitors. Get that through your head. They're not your friends. And I never, not one time, think that my coworkers are my friends. They're not. We come to work, we do our jobs, and we leave. Now, as for this nurse, this person allegedly died. And so she's liable. And you can, cancel the upload, but there's something called a subpoena. And they will subpoena TikTok, YouTube, and get the footage. So even though you deleted that live, it is still recorded somewhere on somebody's hard drive in the cloud. I don't know, but it's somewhere. They let her go. Okay. And she ended up being criminally charged and she loses her license. I mean, so some of you guys thinking, well, there was a video that I did and I'll link it in the cards at the end of the video of the nurse who got terminated for talking too much on the job. And somebody made a comment, oh, well, she could just go get a job anywhere. No. If you listen to what this gentleman said, he said that some companies are not wanting, if you get terminated in that manner, it may be very difficult to get another job because it's liability and they don't know if you're going to do it again. So it may be difficult to even land a job, even if you're in a high, need type of area like nursing in certain instances. So y'all, don't let social media get you fired. Don't let people put a battery in your back. A lot of people was, even during the political scene, I just laid low and watched what happened. And I just shook my head and went on about my business. My beliefs about certain things are my beliefs. I don't have to get out here and get all emotional about something and let people put a battery in my back. To me, that's just a little bit unstable to get out here and just be speaking. He used the word reckless. And there are many people he used the example of who've lost their jobs, their livelihoods, their careers, their homes, all on account of posting something on social media. So guys, don't let social media get you fired. It is a good thing and it can be used for a lot of good, but also at the same time, it can be very destructive if you get out here and tell a whole lie. And also, I just want to add in as a PSA for women who are, on social media as influencers or YouTubers or content creators, and you have children. Shield your children. Shield your children. Do content, maybe, unless it's a family channel and you got a man in your house, but typically a lot of times with the kids channels, people are so cruel and they will call CPS on you. So if you're going through a lot of stress, I would just say do some content, maybe put your kids in it every now and again. But for the most part, just film you. Because folks are evil and wicked and they will do all sort of things to cause a ruckus among us, okay? And they'll get you in a kerfuffle, in the words of Judge Judy, and you don't need that. So if you are a content creator and you have little ones, protect them. You know what I mean? They don't have to see every picture or everything or tell, everything about your child. I just saw something today and I wanted to say to this content creator, you told a little bit too much about your children. If they're having behavioral issues, that's between you, the child, and the school. Go to that video. If the young lady watches this, if she knows who I'm talking about, go to your video and then kind of take it down, put it on private, and then edit that part out about the kids. So that way you maintain your kids' privacy. I saw that on a channel today and I was like, you gotta just be careful. Even though you are, out here on these YouTube streets, you gotta maintain the privacy of your children, and everybody doesn't need to know that you're having issues with your kids, because then what will happen is there'll be somebody who will call up, or maybe the kid's daddies will call up and say you're unfit. You gotta be wise. So if I was that young lady, I would take that video down, put it on private, edit that part out, and then upload it back again. Yeah, that's what I would do. But y'all, let me know what y'all think about this. These are for people in the front, people in the back, and in the middle. I have been stressing this because I think a lot of companies are going to adhere. I just looked at a company policy and I was like, whoa, I didn't know their social media policy was that strict, but some are. So some of you guys out here cussing and fussing and dropping F-bombs and acting a fool and getting drunk, they may say, this is not becoming of our organization. We might need you to go sit down somewhere and, give us your time card and your badge back. So let me know what you think about this. I think this is probably the most poignant, to the point video for anybody. They should play this in the hospitals. Okay, you know how they play it in the hospitals, or you get a job orientation. They need to take this man's video right here called "Don't Let Social Media Get You Fired." They need to take this right here, ask him, can they use it, and show this at the orientation for everybody, hospitals, corporate America, the government jobs, everywhere. They need to show this everywhere, because he said this is a public service announcement. You've been warned. All right, y'all. This is Monique, and this is Monique Speaks and Reactions. You know how we do. Get down into the comments. And if you know anybody who's been fired for using social media or misusing it or going against their, policy, let me know. And I will link his YouTube channel in my description box. All right, y'all. Peace, and I'm out.